Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Career Reinvention Stories. This is the second episode of the series, and we have with us Dr. Sunita Pradhan. I'll go ahead and I'll introduce Dr. Sunita for all of you. Dr. Sunita is a dental surgeon by degree, and she has been working across healthcare in different kind of roles for the last 20 long years. And right now, she is an entrepreneur, a consultant, and a digital marketing strategist. A warm welcome, Dr. Sunita, to this series.
Thank you so much, Shatabdi, for the kind words. You described my journey so beautifully. And at the outset, I would like to say that this platform that you are curating for healthcare professionals to guide them, I think it's the need of the hour, and it comes at a time when the doctors need guidance. They need the support of the industry to help them understand, if not dentistry, what else or what next. So I think this is a great initiative by you, and I'm so happy to pitch in and give my 2 cents. And if someone borrows anything from my journey, I think it's worth it.
Absolutely. Exactly why you are here, Dr. Sunita. And I and Dr. Sunita have been in touch for quite some time now. We have followed each other's
Yes.
journeys and we have known each other, how we have evolved, what we are doing, what are the things that we work upon. So I can tell all of you that Dr. Sunita's journey is really inspiring, something that many of us can't even imagine of. So starting with that only, Dr. Sunita, I'll ask you to tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey, how it evolved, how it started, and where you are right now.
Thank you. So I started off as a dentist. That's the common thread here between you and me. Um, but I'll fast forward to I've worked across the industry for more than 20 years, but in various roles. I've been an administrative manager. I've been part of the sales and marketing team. I've helped the sales team with leads generation, designing marketing collaterals for them, and sometimes also stepping in with the customer facing role. And even if we talk about the industry, I've worked with health insurance, I've worked with a health IT startup, I've dabbled in e-claims processing, I've worked with the Apollo Clinic, I've been posted at Manipal Hospital. So I've worked across the sector,
Hmm.
but I think all of that has helped me reach and contribute to where I am today. Coming to my entrepreneurial journey, a couple of things that stand out for me. My husband and me have a clinic. I'm involved in the clinic in a non-clinical capacity. So, uh, maintaining the looking into the marketing strategies, strategies, social media management. We are heavily into dental tourism, so making sure that we have a presence online that speaks to international patients, generating leads thereon. Apart from that, for a little bit, for a couple of years, I pursued I'm deeply interested in cooking and I love food. So I founded a brand of artisanal flavored butters. Yeah, I get that smile a lot from people because they're not able to connect the dots and say, okay, dentistry and food. But yeah, this happened, and I must say it's one of the most interesting chapters of my life. Also, today where I'm at. Uh, yeah, I'm at an interesting place. I'm using all my expertise in the healthcare industry to help doctors build trust and authority online. I'm into branding and digital healthcare marketing and healthcare content strategy. So I realized that looking back on my career, the one thing that
Hmm.
over the past so many years was the backbone for me was that I'm a healthcare professional. And it's not very often that you get a person who understands the healthcare industry so well and still can help with branding or digital marketing for the healthcare services. So this is where I'm at today. And yeah, ready for your next question.
Perfect, Sunita. So, Dr. Sunita, tell me, do you think as a doctor, as a dentist, we have an edge when we move into digital strategy for dental clinics or hospital chains? Do we have a special edge?
Hands down, any day we do. Um, I'll tell you from personal experience that before I decided to shift into providing digital services, uh, when I was looking into the digital marketing services for the clinic, I was working with an agency very closely. Uh, an agency will do what it's told. So be it content or be it making a reel or post or a website optimizing it, creating content, but they're not thinking as a doctor and they are not thinking as the patient who is at the receiving end of the information,
Yes.
right? So what I found was uh, there are fine nuances in the way I have created content and I have marketed an FMCG brand. I have created content for artisanal flavored butters, and I have even created content for dental clinics. There is obviously a difference in the two, right?
Okay.
Because with healthcare marketing, I have to be very, very aware of what I'm promising as the end result and saying, okay, this is possible or this is what is my end result, because it's something that's directly affecting someone's health. Not to
Yes.
say that FMCG marketing is any less important, but we have to be that much more aware of what we are promising or what we're putting out there. So while working with the agency, that's when it struck me that, okay, you're delivering XYZ, whatever I want, but ultimately I had to sit and finally tweak it or rework it because it was not landing the way a patient would understand it or the way a doctor wants to put it. See, many times, uh, a patient who's receiving healthcare information, not everyone is so well read, not everyone has
Yes.
already
Mm,
looked up all the options. There are
mm,
some people who want it simple, they don't want to be overwhelmed. Now,
mm.
that's where a healthcare professional like you and me, we come in. We know the language of the industry. We think like doctors, but at the same time, we have also been in a position where we have explained things to patients. We have simplified it. We have come down to ground level and put it in a way that's easy for them to understand. So I think it's a huge advantage being from the industry.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So I think we have been in a doctor's shoes also, and we, because we communicate so closely with patients, we have been in their shoes
Yes,
also, kind of,
yes,
and that helps,
yes.
right? Absolutely. So, Dr. Sunita, um, my next question automatically would be that for someone new who wants to, explore digital marketing, healthcare marketing, okay, um, what skill sets do you think that they need to develop if they are from the healthcare profession? What skill sets do they need to develop to get into this field?
Okay. Great question because this helps people understand what is my checklist. The
Yes,
first thing I would say to anyone looking at a crossover, you have to be curious. And I would say this to anyone. I won't just say it to a dentist or a healthcare professional. The very fact that you are making a crossover, which means you're going to put in a little more effort than someone else,
true.
right? So enter with curiosity. we can't enter with the feeling that we are already doctors and we know it all. No, we don't know it all. And curiosity softens that for us. And there will be times when you don't know everything. But
Yes.
if you're curious about something, it helps you reach out, helps you learn much more easily. Uh, Secondly, I think you have to be aware of what's happening in your industry.
Mm.
So, the way hospitals, clinics, and doctors are marketing and branding themselves today is different. I remember when we started out as dentists, and this is, I'm talking of 20s, right? 2000, sorry.
Mm.
Uh, I'm sure even you don't remember many dentists having a social media presence. We
Yeah.
all started our practices with word of mouth, right?
Yes.
That
Yes.
was the norm. We were worked in an era where it was no doctor was going to record a chairside
No.
procedure
Mm.
or talk about what he or
Mm.
she was doing. It was I have to give the best possible treatment to my patient. If my patient is happy with the outcome or the result,
Yeah.
he is going to refer me, and
Ah.
therein starts the
Circle.
referral
Mm.
system, the word of mouth circle, right? That's what you and me know. So times have changed, things have changed. Be aware, be aware, look around you. There's enough evidence on social media that hospitals, medical tourism companies, clinics, and even doctors are branding themselves now. They're making the effort to build a digital brand. Be aware of the various tools. Sometimes you see articles in the papers.
Mm.
I remember we have I have done a workshop with you where we
Yeah.
learned to write features and articles. Now, that's all part of building a digital
Mm.
presence and building an authority, right? Be aware of that. I think every Wednesday there are articles in the paper with some health information.
Yeah.
I remember we have studied it during your course also, right? So I would
Yeah.
say be aware
Yeah.
that these are the things happening now.
Yeah.
Uh, Thirdly, if I were to build a roadmap for
Mm.
someone, I would say network. Network as if your life depended on it. And it does. LinkedIn is, yes, such
Yeah.
a great platform. I know that when I decided I wanted to do
Mm.
something new now, and digital marketing was topmost on my head because I was already handling the social media for my FMCG brand. And
Okay. Mm.
so for me, the transition was
Was
relatively
natural.
easy because now
Mm.
yes, I had to just tailor it to the healthcare industry.
Yeah.
So reach out to people, look up people who are doing the kind of work that interests you. Something I'd like to say to people here that do not be afraid to reach out, ask for advice, ask for an opinion, ask for people to guide you. Uh, I think 9 out of 10 times people fear reaching out because they think A, no one will respond back, B, they look silly, and C, it looks like, I know nothing. Uh, I would like to share something that I have got help in the most unexpected places. I have found mentors in 20 years, and what I have always noticed is people are happy to help.
Yeah.
All you have to do is ask.
Yeah.
Ask shamelessly. Uh, I have a saying which I stand by today that if you don't ask, you don't get.
Get.
So your job is to reach out, ask for help, ask for guidance. There have been so many people who I have approached. We have a common friend, Dr. Lakshmi, and
Yeah.
I remember that when I was honing my skills in
Mm.
healthcare content strategy, I have called Dr. Lakshmi, picked up the phone, and asked her for her input so many times. And each time she has taken out and said, okay, this is what I think. So, network, reach out to people. I would also say if you can get a mentor, good. Have Having a mentor they kind of guide you. They are already coming from experience. So it's easier because there's a voice of reason and experience behind you who can guide you. If you can, and if you can afford it, work with a career coach. I remember in the early part of my transition to healthcare, digital and branding services, I worked with a career coach for a couple of months. Now, what this does is a career coach will help you sit down. You will start from scratch and say, okay, these are all my strengths, these are my
Yeah.
weaknesses, these are the opportunities and challenges, like a SWOT analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And from all of that, they can help you and guide you and say, okay, you know what, maybe this works for you, or this
Mm.
is something that uh, will be an easy transition for you. So I have worked with a couple of career coaches initially. I've taken a couple of sessions with them to help understand what would uh, be that transition that would work for me.
Yes.
And the last thing that I would say is listen when people are giving you feedback or they say something about your work. Um, I will be honest and say I didn't think I had it in me to be a healthcare content strategist. I didn't think because it was something I was doing when I
Mm.
was building my FMCG brand. But now when I look back, I've had people come and ask me who's the agency who's doing your content or managing your website. And I said, no one, I'm doing it myself. So that was actually feedback. And that was
Yes.
uh, a sign saying that, you know what, you're good with this. That's
Mm.
branding. Uh, 2 years before you and me are having this conversation, a friend called me up and said, would you be interested in managing my branding for me and helping me build a presence online? We are trained to write these things off and think,
Yeah.
okay, our friend is just being kind. They don't really mean it. I never took it seriously. But when I worked with my career coach and I
Mm.
mentioned these things, he said the signs were already there.
There.
You
Mm.
just had to join the dots. So I'm saying chances are people have already spoken about things that you're good at. Listen carefully.
Absolutely.
That's feedback. That is, I had two or three friends call me up, my dental friends, and tell me, why don't you put this out there and start providing this as a
Mm.
service to others? I never took it seriously. So I think please start listening. You never know. People are if you're good at something, people will come to you with
Yeah.
some question or ask you to
Mm.
help somewhere. That's an indication. That's a sign.
Yeah, true, absolutely. So I think, like you have mentioned, understanding the feedbacks, joining the dots to understand where my
Yes,
natural strengths lie, and then how I can build
yes,
upon it to move to my next or just
yes,
transition to my next career. That is the way of,
yes,
going ahead instead of starting
yes,
entirely with a new skill set, entirely with from zero. That is not I don't think that is the way of building it. I think like you said, you were already building an FMCG brand, so it was a kind of natural progression for you, this next career step, right?
yes,
So understanding and identifying our existing transferable skill sets, our strengths,
yes,
listening to what
yes,
people want us to do more of, to help them with, that would
yes,
be a good starting point, right? This is so important. This piece of
yes,
information is so important.
yes.
True, true. So, Dr. Sunita, now tell me, so was your biggest fear when you decided that I want to, restart or switch over or move from a clinical role to a non-clinical role? what was the biggest fear that you had in your head? Like you said, you had worked with career coaches, but there was a reason why you decided to work with a career coach, right? So, what was that challenge?
If I'm going to answer the part about fear, uh,
Yeah.
honestly, with all the career transitions I've made over the past 20 plus years, there's never been fear. Nothing
Okay.
has been driven by fear.
Mm-hmm.
I may come across as arrogant or, that,
No.
I don't know, probably. But I think for me, the biggest factor driving these transitions was
Mm-hmm.
being stuck. Uh,
Okay. Mm.
I am the kind of person I have to keep learning something, updating my skills, and doing something that challenges me. So, when I started out as a dentist, I think just for 2 years I did scaling straight up, and I had to observe the dentists treating their patients. And at the end of 2 years, I was frustrated that this is not why I became a dentist to just continue doing, prophylaxis. And that extreme frustration that I'm not living up to my potential, and
Mm.
I was not looking forward to going to work the next day.
Yeah.
So honestly, there has never been fear. There has
Mm.
been a feeling that I'm stagnating and I'm not learning something new or doing something that interests me.
Yes.
So, which is why I mentioned earlier on that if you are making a career transition, make sure you lead with curiosity,
Mm.
and it can't be about fear. And also, we need to stop basing these things on fear of failure.
Yeah.
In the if I've learned anything in my career, it is that, and we have all heard this earlier, I'll say it anyway, that I think success is overrated. And failure is not a bad thing. It's not what the opposite of success is not failure. I think it is just that you were unsuccessful. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
that you failed at something,
Yeah.
because when you are unsuccessful at something, you learn to dig deep, identify the cause, you come
Yeah.
back stronger,
Yeah.
or you redirect yourself. You say, okay,
Yes.
maybe this wasn't for me, so now I
Mm.
move in another
Yeah.
direction.
Mm.
So I don't know if this is making sense to your viewers,
It's
but this
perfectly
is what
making sense.
I firmly believe in this, especially for dentists who are thinking of moving out of clinical
Mm.
dentistry, because you're going to be faced with a lot of judgment. I'm sure you've been there. I'm sure all dentists who are considering something outside of clinical dentistry are scared of that judgment of people thinking they are less because they're not practicing anymore. I think just learn to wear the blinkers, just close your ears to all the noise around you,
Yeah.
and just do what
Yeah.
you have to.
Yes. So, Dr. Sunita, I think, like you mentioned also, that failure is not the opposite of success. I think not uh, trying and not living up to our
Yes,
fullest potential when we know that we could have done better. I think that is one of the
yes,
worst things that can happen to our careers, right?
I
So
agree.
that is right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And okay, so with that, Dr. Sunita, tell me that if somebody is to restart their careers in 2026, a healthcare professional, a mother, a newlywed woman, doctor. So what is that one thing that you want to tell them that will help them to restart their career with confidence?
I think if only things have gotten easier. because of the internet, because of social media, because of AI. So my advice would be use AI to your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Use social media to your advantage. If you remember, we spoke of a checklist, and I said use all the networking
Mm.
platforms to increase your network, because this lets you know where the industry is at, where you are at, what is the lag, right? And if you need to upskill, you know that these are the skills I need to come to par with to do well.
Yes.
And learning has become so easy, so easy. I did a course with you. I've done a course on Udemy. I'm currently doing another course on HubSpot as we talk. So online learning has made life so much easier. We
Easier.
work at our pace, we do it at our convenience. You can be working and still studying. So use the internet, use AI. Use AI to as a powerful research tool. Now, uh, I'm not saying you only network on LinkedIn. Use
Yeah.
social media, use Instagram, use
Yes.
Facebook, etc., to see what kind of uh, what's getting your attention.
Yes.
Because if something is getting your attention, it means that something interesting there. It's something that interests you. Try
Yeah.
to figure that out, right?
Mm.
Once you
Mm.
figure that out, then try to go behind it, reach out to people, be in people's DMs. 9 out of 10 times people respond. People are
Yeah.
happy to help. People are like, I know I did an entire series on doctors who have great social media handles. And my
Okay.
first thought was that if I reach out to them, what are the chances that these doctors will allow me to talk about them and how they've built a social media presence? Shatabdi, all of them responded
Wow.
positively. The very
Wow.
first time that I was in their DMs and I said, I'm starting a series and I want to talk about why your
Mm.
branding works compared to that of others. They said we are happy to help. If this helps other doctors, why not? So
Yeah.
be fearless in reaching out to people. Lot of free courses. Now that's another thing, people have
Mm.
a mind block about that. I'm at an age where it's difficult to study, or I may not be able to invest so much money.
Yeah.
There's no age attached to learning, and there are so many free courses online
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And if you are logging into LinkedIn every day, there are people who are having free webinars, free Zoom calls
Yes.
where they are kind of teaching you something that they know. Make sure you're there. Log into job sites, because job sites come with good tips for freelancers
Yeah.
or people who are making
Mm.
crossovers, and they guide you on how to do it. Have a
Yes.
mentor. I remember I joined a program where I found a mentor there. And even today, I'm in touch with her. When things are tough, when things are not going the
Yeah.
way you want them to go, I reach out to her and I ask for her advice, and she tells me whatever it is that I'm not doing, or
Yeah.
that, okay, you need to have some patience. Make sure you have an ecosystem around you, is what
Yes.
I'm trying to
Important.
say.
Absolutely. That
Yes,
ecosystem, that network,
yes,
that community of people will ultimately push you through. That is important. Perfect,
yes.
Dr. Sunita. So, thank you so much, Dr. Sunita, for doing this with me. And I am sure all the insights that you have shared will help our audience move ahead in their careers. If you want to connect with Dr. Sunita, I'll share her LinkedIn profile in the description box below, and you can get in touch with her for collaborations and project inquiries too. With that, I will close today's session. Thank you so much, Dr. Sunita. And I will come back to all of you. Yeah, Sunita, before we close.
I just wanted to say,
Yeah,
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 that great initiative, Dr. Shatabdi. Like I said, 20 years ago, I remember messaging you this yesterday that I didn't have someone to guide me. I've had to figure it out along the way.
true.
But so glad that this is something you're doing to help people who are confused. You just have to show up, you have to ask, and you just have to take it one step at a time.
Absolutely, absolutely. If we can do it, you can too. That is the final thing. So, with that, we close
Yes.
today's session and we will meet on the third episode of this series. Till then, take care, guys. Stay happy and stay healthy.
Thank you. Thank you.